Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to show you how to add some complex shapes into your cityscape. So if you look back at some of the inspiration photos, what you'll notice is that there are shapes like this, like the cloud shapes right here. If I look at this one, there's these little these trees right here, are these clouds that you can't actually get with the shape palette as it is. So what you're going to do instead is you're going to actually use a tool that merges shapes together in order to get the clouds. So like look at these clouds right here. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's look at our cityscape right here. I'm going to go ahead and add another page here, and I'm going to work on this page, and then I'm going to copy and paste it into the other one. That way it's less distracting for me. So I'm going to make a bunch of ellipses right here. And I will say one thing that is annoying about Gravit is it doesn't keep that tool selected. So I just have to keep kind of pressing E with my left hand here to select the ellipse tool again. So I want to make it so that the outside of it looks like I want it to, but this is a bunch of different shapes. So if I wanted to color this shape, you know, I would have to color each individual ellipse. You can see on the left hand side that these are all the individual ellipses. So I'm going to click and drag across it, and when I have more than one shape selected, this tool appears. Oh, it is actually this tool right here. This tool gives me the ability to I can merge shapes together. I can subtract one. So let me actually do this with two shapes first. So if I have two shapes here, like this, okay, and let's go ahead and color this shape. Let's color it this color, and let's color this shape. Oh, that's not what I want. Let's color it that. Okay, so that we can easily see. So right now these two shapes are they are overlapping each other. So when I select them by clicking and dragging a marquee across them, or creating a marquee, it's called, this right here becomes an option for me. So I can merge them together. Notice it will take a color of one of the shapes. Okay, can Command Z to get that back. And by the way, when I merge them, watch what happens to my left. Right, so it notices that these shapes there's a compound shape right there. Right, so I'm going to Command Z to get that back. So either I can merge them, or I can subtract. This subtracts the front of it. So if I did that, it's just left with this back shape. Notice that this shape is actually still kind of there. If I could go back and get the union, and it would create the other shape there and get me the union, which is really nice. Adobe Illustrator doesn't do that. I could do that. I could make the intersection, which is just the Venn diagram, or it was just the pieces of the circles that are in between. Okay, or I can take the difference, which is subtracting out the intersection between it. So this one keeps only the intersection. This one keeps everything but the intersection. So there's a bunch of things that you might want to do. The most common one, I will say, is the union one. So notice this is grayed out now. I can't use it because I don't have two shapes that are selected, two or more shapes. So here, if I select these shapes, I can go back in and create the union of them, and that creates one shape for me. Now I could access individual ones if I wanted to. I could actually, I think I could probably delete just, yeah, like see how I can delete some of them if I wanted to, if I didn't like it. I'm going to Command Z to get those back. But it groups them for me in such a way that when I select this, I can click it here, or I can click and drag across it. I can create a color on this shape, right? And remember, I can do like a linear gradient if I want, where maybe because I have that nice background, I make it so that the clouds look like this. Now I can copy Command C or Control C, and I can paste that right here. And so maybe I have that cloud right here. I can make it a little bit smaller if I wanted to. I could even change the opacity of it if I wanted to make it look a little bit more opaque. Opaque is how much you can see through it. Okay, so that's how you create one compound shape. Now I can rotate it if I want to make my cloud a little different, and put it in different spaces. So that is one compound shape. Now you can also make something like a tree. So let me go back here to this other palette. If you wanted to make a tree, like just kind of make the pieces of the tree. So I have this, maybe I have a rectangle here that goes like the branches, and I rotate it and I move it here like that. I copy paste so that I have one similar, and maybe I rotate it upward like this. Right, so here would be like the little Y branches of the tree. I could click and drag across. I can merge it right here. And then I want to make like a bubble like the leaves of a tree. So I could, let me just do that in a separate space here. Now I'm just using my left hand to keep selecting the ellipse tool. Okay, so here, oops, I'm going to click and drag this over here. I delete this. Click, merge them, taking the union. I might want to make it a little bit bigger. I want to send this to the back, so I'm going to click here, modify, arrange, send to back. So it sends it, oh, for some reason it didn't do it. Oh, you know what, the whole compound shape has to be, see, I'm going to click and drag it underneath. That might be easier. Oh, they both have the same color, that's why. So I'm like, why is this not working? Okay, if I made this green, like a, nope, that's supposed to be brown. So if I made it more of a brownish shape, it's not really brown, but remember how you can add a hex value in there. So if you actually wanted to go and make it a little bit better. So there's that. If I made this one green, you can see that there is a tree that you've just made, right? And so I can, now I can take this, I don't want to union them because that takes all the color with it, but I could group them, and that makes it one object. So now I can hold down shift and resize it. I can copy and paste it into my cityscape, and maybe I have all these little tiny trees everywhere. I don't know, you kind of want to make it to scale, I suppose, but you know, maybe it's, oh, I didn't hold down shift, so it kind of made it skinnier. So you have all these little trees down here, so maybe you want to make a little park or something. All right, so I need to have you, in order to get a good grade on this summative assessment, you need to have everything colored, you need to show me a background layer and a color in the background, and you need to have used the compound shapes. Okay, and you should have buildings that stretch across your entire landscape. All right, and that's it for today.